My fiancé cheated on me with my own brother. My family wanted me to move on, so I moved out of their lives. I never thought my life would turn into something out of a bad soap opera, but here we are. I'm 29M, and until a few months ago, I was engaged to the woman I thought I'd spend the rest of my life with, Emma, 27F. We had been together for 5 years, built a life together, and were just weeks away from saying, I do. And then, in the span of a single conversation, everything came crashing down. It started with Emma acting weird, distant, jumpy. At first, I chalked it up to wedding stress, but something in my gut told me there was more to it. Then, one night, she sat me down with tears in her eyes and dropped a nuclear bomb. I need to tell you something. I messed up. I felt the air leave my lungs before she even said the words. I slept with someone else, and I'm pregnant. I think I went numb, but nothing could have prepared me for what she said next. It was, your brother. I don't remember much after that. I know I laughed. A bitter, hollow sound. I know I stood up, walked away, and locked myself in our bedroom, unable to process the fact that the two people I trusted most had completely shattered my world. I didn't sleep that night. I didn't even cry. I just sat there, staring at the wall, feeling like a part of me had died. The next morning, I packed a bag and walked out. I thought that was the end of it. I thought my family would rally around me, support me. Instead, they had other ideas, because to them, family is everything. And they expected me to just get over it. Walking away was never an option. That would have let them move on too easily. And if I'd exploded in rage, they would have played the victim, convincing themselves that I was overreacting and needed to heal. No, they weren't getting the luxury of closure. Instead, I did the one thing no one saw coming. I forgave them. At least, that's what they thought. I let my family believe I was processing things. I even sent Ryan a carefully crafted message, one designed to put him at ease. I hate what you did, but I don't want to waste my life hating my own brother. I need time, but I don't want this to tear our family apart. I hope one day we can move past this. It worked like a charm. My parents clung to that message like it was a miracle, telling everyone I was finally coming around. Ryan and Emma? They were relieved. They thought they had won. And that's exactly what I needed, because people only let their guard down when they believe the worst is over. Ryan and Emma's wedding went ahead as planned. I didn't attend, but I sent a letter. A beautiful, handwritten note, congratulating them on their new life together. It was warm, sentimental, even a little poetic. Life is unpredictable, but love prevails. I hope your future is filled with happiness, wishing you both the best as you start this journey together. It broke my family. My mother cried, saying it was proof that love conquers all. My father told everyone that this was the first step toward healing our family. Emma? She was so emotional she had to step away for a moment after reading it. And Ryan? He probably exhaled in relief, thinking, it's finally behind us. But there was one more thing in that envelope. Taped discreetly to the back of the letter was a small USB drive with no name. Emma never saw it. Ryan did. I knew he'd open it in secret. And inside, a single anonymous note. If you think Emma truly loves you, ask her about her other secrets. You were never her first choice. You were just the best option at the time. Look closely and you'll see it for yourself. No accusations, no details, no proof. Just a whisper of doubt. And doubt, my friend, is the most dangerous weapon of all. I didn't need to do anything else. Ryan did it all on his own. For the first few weeks of their marriage, nothing happened. They posted honeymoon pictures, smiling, looking like the perfect couple. My family used this as more proof that things worked out the way they were meant to. But I knew better. Because doubt doesn't hit immediately. It grows slowly, taking root in the quiet moments. First, it was little things. Ryan started bringing up Emma's past relationships. At first, casually. Then, constantly. Did you ever have doubts about marrying me? Be honest. If things had worked out with your ex, do you think you'd still be with me? Tell me the truth. Was I a second choice? The more she reassured him, the less he believed her. Because he knew what betrayal looked like. He had done it himself. He didn't need proof. He just needed the fear. And fear, that never goes away. One day, a mutual friend reached out. Dude, what did you say to Ryan? He's losing it. Apparently, he was checking Emma's phone. questioning where she was going, making snide comments whenever she talked to other men. Emma, once the confident, bubbly woman who had risked everything to be with him, was now walking on eggshells in her own home. It didn't stop there. Ryan started digging into Emma's past. Old texts, social media messages, anything that could confirm the fear in his head. And the more he searched, the more he convinced himself he was right. Emma wasn't cheating on him, but he couldn't be sure. And not being sure, that's worse than knowing. 1 year later, their marriage was a disaster. Ryan was paranoid and bitter. Emma was exhausted and resentful. They fought constantly. She accused him of not trusting her. He accused her of hiding things. And then, I made my final move. I sent one last message from a random number, just as their relationship was reaching its breaking point. It wasn't Emma you had to worry about. It was your own reflection. That was it. No explanation, no context, just enough to push him over the edge. That night, Ryan accused Emma again. But this time, she didn't fight back. She just stared at him like she finally understood something. The next morning, she packed her bags and left. 2 years after my world fell apart, Ryan was alone. Emma had filed for divorce. My family had stopped treating him like the golden child. And the best part? No one blamed me. They all saw Ryan as insecure, as the reason his marriage failed. Even my parents, who had fought so hard to defend him, started keeping their distance. And Ryan? He never found out where the doubt started. He never figured out that his own paranoia destroyed him. He just had to live with it. Live with the fact that he lost everything. Live with the fact that he betrayed his own brother for a woman who left him anyway. And me? I gotta walk away clean. No messy confrontations, no public drama. Just a quiet, perfect revenge that would haunt him forever. I never needed to destroy Ryan. I just gave him the tools to do it himself. Ryan didn't realize it yet, but he was trapped in a self-made prison. And the best part? He built it with his own hands. At first, he thought his suspicions were just minor worries, something all newlyweds go through. But doubts don't stay small. They grow, they rot, they consume. His paranoia became an obsession. He started spying on Emma, checking her texts, going through her emails, even following her when she went out. At first, she tried to reassure him. Ryan, I married you. I chose you. You're imagining things. I love you. This is all in your head. But he didn't believe her, because deep down, he knew he wasn't worthy of trust. He was a cheater. And cheaters know how easy it is to lie. One night, Ryan did something unforgivable. Emma went out for dinner with her coworkers, a completely normal thing. But in Ryan's mind, it was a cover-up. He convinced himself she was meeting someone else. So, he followed her. Sat in his car across the street, watching, staring at her through the restaurant window. She was laughing, drinking, chatting, having fun. And to Ryan, that was the ultimate betrayal. Because she looked happier than she ever did with him. So when she got home that night, he snapped. "Who were you really with?" he demanded the second she walked in. Emma froze, confused. What? Who was he? Who's the guy? It escalated fast. Screaming, accusations, shattered plates on the floor. Emma had enough. She grabbed her keys, turned to face him, and said the words that sealed his fate. "I don't want to do this anymore." And then, she walked out. For good. Ryan tried to fix it. He begged, pleaded, promised he'd work on his trust issues. But Emma was already gone. She wasn't just leaving the house, she was leaving him. Filed for divorce 3 weeks later. Packed up her things, moved in with a friend, and cut him off completely. Ryan lost everything. But his suffering wasn't over yet. Because now my parents saw the truth. At first, they had defended him, protected him, convinced themselves that he made a mistake, but was still a good man. Now, they saw what he really was. A man who ruined his own marriage the same way he ruined mine. The disappointment in their eyes, that was his real punishment. He wasn't the golden child anymore. He wasn't the good son. He was the failure. And I never even had to lift a finger. Months later, I got a call from my mother. "Ryan's not doing well." I almost laughed. "Oh, really?" She told me he was struggling after the divorce, that he was having a hard time adjusting. That maybe, just maybe, he needed his brother now more than ever. And that's when I knew. He finally understood what I had gone through, because now he was the one left behind. The pain, the betrayal, the loneliness, he finally felt all of it. And my revenge, it was complete. I knew the call was coming. My mother had spent years making excuses for Ryan, but now, when she called me, there was no defense left. No justifications, no guilt tripping, just tired, empty words. Ryan's not doing well, he misses you. I let the silence drag on until she tried again. He lost his wife, he's struggling. You two are brothers, you shouldn't let this go on forever. She still didn't get it. Let this go? I finally said, my voice calm. Mom, Ryan made his choices, and now he's living with them. Isn't that what you told me to do? She didn't have an answer for that, because for years she told me to move on, to forgive, to understand. But when Ryan was the one suffering, suddenly it wasn't so easy. I wasn't planning on ever seeing Ryan again, but something in me wanted to witness the damage. So a few weeks after that call, I agreed to meet him, one time. Not to reconnect, not to forgive, just to see what was left of him. I walked into the cafe and almost didn't recognize him. The man sitting across from me looked like a hollowed-out version of my brother. He was thinner, his face lined with exhaustion, his hands fidgeting like he couldn't sit still. Hey, his voice cracked. I just nodded, waiting. I wanted to see what he had to say. I messed up. That was all he could get out before his voice broke completely. He put his head in his hands and let out a shaky breath. I ruined everything. I don't even know who I am anymore. For a brief moment, I felt something close to pity. Then I remembered standing in my apartment, hearing Emma say she was pregnant with his child. I remembered the way my family told me to forgive, as if my pain was an inconvenience to them. I remembered every single night I spent wondering how the people closest to me could betray me so easily. And I realized something. Ryan was finally feeling what I had felt. The grief, the regret, the loneliness. He was drowning in it. And for once in his life, there was no one left to save him. I just wish we could go back, Ryan said, voice barely above a whisper, to before I ruined everything. I leaned back in my chair, studying him. You can't. He looked up at me, desperate. But we're brothers. No, I said, my voice calm. We were. His face fell. I need my family. And that's when I gave him the final absolute truth. You had a family, Ryan, and you threw it away. For what? He didn't answer, because there was no answer. No excuse, no justification, just emptiness. I stood up, grabbing my jacket. Take care of yourself, I said, and then I walked out the door, leaving Ryan behind, alone, just like he had left me. This time, it was permanent. I never spoke to Ryan again. I never responded to my mother's attempts to fix things. I never looked back. I moved on, built a life without them, and never regretted it for a second. Ryan, on the other hand, he had to live with it. He had to wake up every morning knowing he destroyed his own happiness. He had to carry the weight of everything he did to me and watch as I thrived while he fell apart. That's the thing about betrayal. It always comes full circle. And when it did, I didn't have to lift a finger.